Hello, welcome to Try Animes, another weekly roundup of anime figure releases or pre-orders. This will be from the 30th of October to the 4th of November. There we go. So we've got fair few releases, but there's quite a few Nendroids and stuff that I'm just not gonna obviously cover in this. I'll have a quick look at just scamming through the days, basically, so you can get an idea of what's come out, what's been at least released over the past week. The 3rd was a day when AnimePre were not operating, so they didn't do any updates on the 3rd, so there's a gap between the 2nd and the 4th of November. So it goes from the 2nd straight to the 4th. So 2nd of November was when they had the majority of their releases, which is normally on a Friday, but they pushed that back to a Thursday, obviously, with this release. Top 10 pre-orders currently, as you can see along here. It's not to be expected, to be honest, I suppose. That makes sense with what's there. And we'll get into the reviews now. Tenantol, Figure Alamode, Kono, Subarashi, Sake ni Bakuran, Wo, CCD complete figure. So another one of those Tenantol Figure Alamode series. I think they're going to be doing quite a few of these. Obviously, it seems like we've had, was it two last week? You had the quintessential quintuplets, which are having all being done in this line. So we're going to see a lot more figures from Furu being like this. Which they're more cute, offering a dessert style aesthetic, I suppose, to the figures. So it's not too bad, and they're good prices, 5,220 yen. Paint job looks fine. As I said, it's nothing groundbreaking with these Tenantol figures. Tenantol Figure Mode, Kono, Subarashi, Sekai. So you get Megarine, and her in a school, look like some school outfit. A school-made outfit or something like that, rather casual rather than her normal get-up. 5,220 yen. Coming out in July 2024. Tenantol Neo Tokyo Series Idol Hatsune Miku complete figure. 5,220 yen as well. So Neon Tokyo Series is not one I've seen, but we might see some more figures using this line. Come on, wakey wakey. Anyway, there we go. Looks quite good actually. Quite enjoy the outfit. It's relatively simple, but obviously the detailing they've got on the dress is actually really nicely done as well. It's probably embossed on there for manufacturing purposes to make it a lot easier. So yeah, no, I do like the aesthetic as well. The blue, white, and green. It's a very good combo for this. It's a pretty good looking Hatsune Miku figure. Pop-up Parade Overlord Shelter Bloodfallen complete figure. So you don't get loads of shelters, but hopefully we see a lot more of these other Overlord figures coming in the future from not just Albedo and Ainz. It would be good to get all the other floor guardians as well. Pop-up Parade Needy Streaming Overload Ame complete figure. Not familiar with this series. 4,000 yen. It's a fine looking figure, but it's going to be Pop-Up Parade, so it's going to be, have the limited quality of painting. Natural scale now. Katie Cole, the Demon Swordmaster of Excalibur Academy Resilia, light novel version. For 26,390 yen. I've not watched the anime, it's new this season. I probably should watch it. It looks relatively interesting to go watch, so it should be something you should possibly worth getting. And this scale figure looks really good. Love the effect parts, the magical circle being the base, and then the shading they've got going on her outfit, the blues to the whites is really well done. It's a very nice looking scale figure of Resilia. Definitely a very attractive figure. If you really like the anime, then they've got at least a figure that's now up for pre-order that you can get by November next year. So it's definitely worth getting. And Bakadakaris has got their seal approval as well for quality. Pop QN illustration leopard print swimsuit, Bikini Creative. 18,580 yen. Doesn't have it as a 1/6 scale. So it's a bikini girl with a mask on that you can have the mask on or off. apart from that, it's just a bikini with, you know, very large chest area. So she looks fine. There's a leopard print bikini print girl for you. Nothing spectacular, unfortunately, for it. It's just a relatively simple figure. The AnimePre, you got JK Bunny, Sakura, Uno Love, Injection. AnimePre are pretty good because they're doing these sort of scale figures that are way cheaper than other scale figures. They're very promising. It seems like a lot of people are looking forward to seeing what other figures they end up coming with. These are all sort of OC figures as well, it seems like, in order to avoid licensing fees, which would jack up the price quite a lot. So it's very promising. This is a very attractive looking figure. It's one of those bunny suits, which is obviously an aesthetic a lot of people do like, bunny figure or bunny aesthetic figures in their collection. And this is one you can get for 7,700 yen, and there's a 1/6 scale. Coming at 29 centimeters tall, so quite tall figure as well, for 7,700 yen. Really well worth getting hold of her if you do want to. They've got quite a lineup of ones that they've released. I've covered them in previous videos. Be worth getting to just check to see how these are. If there's one that is your interest, then I would definitely pre-order it. Azure Lane, Pinghei and Ninghei 1/7 scale by Hobby Max Japan, 32,000 yen. So it's two figures in one, kind of. But you can only really get them as a set anyways. The way they are designed, it's two figures in one, but it's not really because you can't separate them. So you have to buy them. The higher price is quite good. It's two Azure Lane figures. Paint job looks pretty good overall. No issues here. Obviously, there's a Chinese dress style aesthetic or skin on these two. If you're big into Azure Lane, then and you like Pinghei and Ninghei, then you can get these both of them to 32,000 yen. Cheerleader Misaki illustration by Johnson, 1/6 Hobby Sakurai, 15,980 yen. So it's a cheerleader outfit. Looks fine. Nothing amazing. Probably not worth 15,000 yen, but I think just being a bit stingy. I like the facial feature. Looks quite good. Yeah, no, it just looks okay by Hobby Sakurai. So they're a bit more on the simpler side of what they're offering. And I think because it's an OC character as well, there's less than the licensing fees, so that's why they can get a lower price. But still, it's a lower price, but it's also lower quality in terms of the design. Depends. You sort of have to like the outfit really overall, which I'm not personally a fan of. Street Witch Lily illustration by D Smile. This one's different though. So this is Hobby Sakurai as well, but I do love this outfit and aesthetics. 26,000 yen, 670. So it's obviously commanding a greater price, but you get obviously a lot more for your money. It's obviously a witch outfit, so the outfit looks really well done. I do love the tights that they've got going on here, and the shoes look really well done. The bicycle looks great. The cloak on there, is you're just getting a lot more of the figure. It's much more dynamic and a lot more appealing, I think, personally, rather than just a simple figure and in a simple outfit. So this is definitely a lot more tickles my fancy. You got the detailing on the hat with the this ornamentation going on the ribbon. It looks really well done. Bike looks great as well, the shading on there, and then the basket with the food in there just adds so much appeal for this figure to me over the other one, unfortunately. So that's why I would pay the extra money for this if I was like really drawn to this figure. I'm not drawn enough to purchase it, but someone out there probably would be. So there's that for you. That's what I'm normally looking out for. If it's from a series I'm not familiar with, then it's down to the figure whether it grabs me enough. But normally I do only buy figures of series that I've watched. Fate Grand Order Caster Shujin Doji Halloween on 7th complete figure by Q for 33,470 yen. This one I thought was already released. or is this a re-release? This one, obviously, a lot of people will love this sort of figure. This one, obviously, a lot of people will love this sort of figure. I love this one as well, with all the effect parts going on. I think there's a slightly different version of this already out there by another manufacturer, where she's on this sort of base, like magic bottle thing as well. And she's standing in a similar, but she doesn't have like this club or for this familiar going on. So this might be, if this is a re-release, then nope, this is gonna be a first edition, so it's not a re-release then. But yeah, no, he's a very good looking figure. A lot of people do like the shooting doji aesthetic, sort of Oni or demon girl aesthetic going on, with all the mystical, magical apparel that they've got going with them. I can definitely see it's very alluring. It's something that depending on me, I'm not familiar with shooting doji, so I can't say it'd be something I would get. But I can see why a lot of people would definitely want to get this figure. And it's QQ 33,000 yen, so it's a well respectable brand. She looks great overall. Price might be a bit high for some people, but I think a lot of people would still pick her up anyways. Dream Tech High School DxD Hero Ria Squimmery Bikini Style on 7th. This is a re-release for her, from what I'm aware of. She's already this is just a re-release of it, so definitely one worth getting if you missed out. I'm very tempted to get this as well, and she's not a lot of money, 15,840 yen, not a huge amount. February 2024. Definitely possibly worth getting a hold of. Obviously not cast off, which is fine, but Rias is one of those ones where I have a tendency to love High School DxD figures. Is one of the first sort of ecchi anime that I watched, so definitely got me into watching ecchi style anime and basically fall in love with the whole ecchi genre. So yeah, definitely one worth possibly picking up if you've not got any Rias Squimmeries in your collection. So, it's a long run series, so getting figures is a bit sparse at the moment because there's not the new stuff. It's not mainstream or anything like that. Usamori 1/6 scale by Yoyosuke, 21,480 yen. So a bunny style samurai, very interesting aesthetic. I do like the overall outfit. The overall outfit looks really great. I love the sword going on the back. She's shy. The facial expression looks great. This is definitely something I possibly would worth getting, and she's cast off, which is a bonus. It comes out in October 2024. This is one I'm very tempted to get a hold of as well, because I do love beast style or bunny style figures. As I've got 2 quarter scales already freeing, and I've got 2 more on the way, and a couple on next year's pre-orders, which will be in a following up video later in the year or near the end of the year. So this looks, I do love the aesthetic appeal of this, and the whole she's very hot and very alluring and captivating in the eyes, and I do love the aesthetic overall. Great looking figure. Definitely one worth getting hold of if it's sort of, obviously it's not from a anime series I'm aware of, because it's no C character from what I can tell, but it's the overall design looks really good and up my alley. So if it's if it grabs you that much, then it's worth and she's not insanely expensive for being a cast off as well. 21,000 yen is not outrageous, so it's very worth possibly getting hold of her. Mushroom Girls series number 4, Shaggy Ink Cap 1:1 scale, reverse studio, 18,800 yen. So not familiar with this Mushroom Girls series. Number 4, if this is the first in the lineup, or if there have been other versions out there, then it might be worth waiting to see what's going on with this, if they're following up. But yeah, this is obviously a sort of mushroom aesthetic girl figures. It's a unique take on a design to come up with, basing it on mushrooms. I can see them doing quite a few different versions of mushroom girl aesthetic design characters or figures. I have no problem with this. This is so Shaggy Ink Cap. Ink Cap makes sense, I guess, with this black ink coming out from the cap. There's a lot of different mushroom designs and like colors and things like that, and names that they can use as inspiration for this. So I can see this being an entire lineup that they come up depending on how this is received, I suppose, and how many sales they get by Reverse Studio. So it's a unique take if it's something that interests you, or you're going for like a plant aesthetic cutesy girl collection, then this might be a good start. Or maybe wait to see if they, or have a look at the manufacturer, see if they've got any other announcements that they're working on. If they've got other lineup of girls for this that they've got coming out in the future, and you think you would want to do the entire lineup in your collection, then pre-order. 18,900 yen is not horrendously priced. The paint job is a bit simple, but yeah, that's pretty good overall. Not bad idea. Hatsune Miku Senbo Sakura 10th anniversary version on 7th by DAZN Coco. Sorry, when I read Senbone Sakura, it's from Bleach. Senbone Sakura Kageyoshi. So yeah, so 16,240 yen. I quite like the aesthetic overall. There's one Hatsune Miku, green hair. You don't see that often. Normally it's over the blue hair in a pink outfit, and I think the green and pink go hand in hand with this figure design overall. It's very light. I do like the aesthetic over really well done, and obviously it's to do with, like, I guess blossom trees. So it's if you're really like the blossom tree aesthetic that you see in Japanese anime, in a lot of, you know, romance or school in certain scenes of anime series, then definitely worth getting this figure just to represent it in your collection at least. And it would be something I definitely would want to go to Japan during the season, like the week or so that the Senbon that those trees are blossom into pink. Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld Asuna Stacia, Goddess of Creation version on 7th by Alta. There's loads of Asuna figures out there, so it's a bit, you know, hit and miss of whether this one hits home or not. This one I don't think so, mainly because of the support rod and the base. The fact that she's hovering in the air introduces a lot of problems. The overall, like, paint job, I got no problem with that. It's going to have Alta's seal approval, so the quality is going to be there in terms of the paint job. Wings in terms of these pictures might be a bit of a letdown because they're sort of semi-transparent with the shading. I don't like the shading on this one, but that's personal. That's nothing. That's just my take on it. But yeah, my main thing is I don't like having these sort of characters hovering in the air with a rod, as it just detracts too much from the figure for me. Apart from that, that's the only problem that's let me down. It's like, if you like it, you know you're buying it. It's got Alta. There's going to be no problems with this figure, you know, having any quality or issues or anything, and knowing them that that's going to be a proper full metal rod, so that's not going to be drooping or anything over the years while she's in your collection on the shelf. Good looking figure overall, but it's just for me, it's not something I would be looking to get a hold of. Arc Knights Cult Sit on 7th by Apex, 21,760 yen. So the Neko style figure looks fine, like a Neko Doctor aesthetic figure. She looks quite good. I quite like the paint job. Base looks quite as good. Overall, the base overall is not too bad as well. It does add a little bit of flair to the base, but it's not from a series or anything that I'm aware of. That was Arc Knights. Yeah, I suppose if you're big into Arc Knights, you can get this Cult Sit. Not something I'd get. I've not played Arc Knights, so but that's out there for you. Hello, wakey. Sister Edith on 7th scale, but Ace Modeling, 13,200 yen. So another one. I did mention this like a few weeks ago that we're going to be seeing a lot more, you know, nun and sister church clergy figures coming out. This is just proving my point really. You know, it's a very alluring blonde sister or nun not cast off, chained to a cross. The only 13,000 yen is not, is a pretty good price as well for what you're getting. If you're starting to get into the sister motif and you like the appeal of having nuns in your collection, then this is not a bad price to start and having her. But yeah, obviously it's an OC character, so that's why it's they can offer a cheaper price. Only thing that takes away from me is there's no detailing or shading on the cross that she's chained to. The base is pretty simple as well. There's like no weathering or anything. That's partially probably reflected in the price. Like the chain at least has some weathering she's attached to, and her overall outfit is not bad, but the base and the cross look just atrocious. Unless if these aren't final pictures, but it's February 2024 they're getting released. We're only 3 months away from that, so I don't think I don't think I'll purchase this, because I think the cost would distract from too much. Going, oh man, I love the figure a lot, I love her, but the rest of the base just pulls it down for me. Goddess of Victory, Nikki Emma on 7th by Furyu for 24,200 yen. This one might bargain bin a little bit, because Furyu do a lot of printings. Usually they manufacture way too many, but this figure looks great. I love the outfit. The tights look really well shaded, and I love the fact that she looks like she's got a chest armor covering her 2 missiles. So I do love that aesthetic as well. It's a very appealing looking figure. Possible worth getting into if you've played the Nikkei games. Mobile game, I've not played it yet. I probably will do at some point. I'm just playing Azure Lane at the moment. Put a few months into that for free, and then I'll probably switch to another mobile game once I've got a few waifus in Azure Lane. But yeah, 24,200 yen, not too bad. Oh, great figure looking overall, and I think we're going to see more Nikkei figures as the game seems to be doing really well. B-Style Darling in the Franxx 02 Bunny version, quarter scale, 29,700 yen. This is a re-release, so people who've missed out can get a hold of her now for a good price, just under 30,000 yen. July 2024. Possibly, I really did like Franxx, Darling in the Franxx anime series. Not enough to get 02 really. Like, I kind of want to buy her just because, I know she'll probably go up in price afterwards anyways, and I know her first release sold up really quickly. But yeah, this is promising as well for free, because they might actually do some re-releases of other ones that have sold up really well, and with tights rather than being bare legs versions. So if you're missed out on the first time round and you've been holding off because of the aftermarket price on her, there's your chance to get her. I don't know how long she'll still be available for pre-order. Obviously the link for this and all the other figures we look at today will be down below in the description. That's the best that I can do really for you without you making an account and favoriting this and adding it to your bookmarks on your account. Another AnimePre original character, Little Devil Momoko on 7th, 7,700 yen. This one is actually I really do like the aesthetic of this one. Sort of, being a demon succubus in the base, but she's just stepping on this sort of demon spawn thing, is really well done. I do love the aesthetic of this figure overall. It's great, it's dark skinned, which is a lot of people love as well. Succubus, another tick in a bikini, in a alluring bikini, another tick. Paint job looks really, the base just adds to it, which is another tick. So it's 5-6 ticks going towards her already, and then the price just that was just an auto buy. So I think a lot of people will be wanting to purchase this just to try AnimePre, even if it's the first one out of the series of figures that they've released. I might have to do a video on AnimePre just to say that they've come out of nowhere. That's not, and these are what they've got on offer. That might be an idea actually. I'll bank for video ideas. But yeah, no, it's a very good looking figure, 7,700 yen. auto buy really. I think for most people, if they've got a little bit of extra change, to order this figure for an April 2024 release. Uma Musume Pretty Derby, the will to overtake Satsuno Diamond 1/7 by Koda Bukiya. Dress looks really well done, paint job looks great, the gold looks amazing, stance looks, yep, showing that she's running. The rods might be a bit off-putting overall, and the other thing is this arm seam. I think that might ruin it for a lot of people, having this arm seam here on her right shoulder, which is really clearly visible, and her left, you can see the left arm seam as well. So the arms are detachable in order to get her into that pose, I suppose, unfortunately. So those are either arm seams or those are drawn on, but they look like arm seams to me. Apart from that and the support rod, which I understand they have to have the support rod on the back to stop her leaning backwards. Great looking figure, but I think you would have to be an Uma Musume fan. I'm not. Personally, I've not watched these series, so I'm not too bothered about their figures. The figure looks great overall, nothing to take away from it, but the arm seam might ruin it for a lot of people, unfortunately, with this. Price is not too bad though for the quality of figure you're getting. Pop-Up Parade Overlord Albedo dress version by Good Smile, 4,080 yen. It's Albedo in a nice looking pretty dress for a decent price. Wings look fine, obviously no shading on the wings, but that's to be expected. It's just sprayed black and then put on, attached to her. So quite an interesting looking figure. If you've not got an Albedo figure and you don't want to spend a lot of money on her because maybe you're not super into Albedo, then you can at least get Pop-Up Parade version of her, for not a lot of money. But I think there's 10 total. I've done one or two versions of her already, which are technically better with better paint jobs, for the slightly more money than Pop-Up Parade. Girls Frontline Z as M21 Affections Behind the Bouquet, 25,200 yen. This one, very nice looking backdrop. Interesting backdrop with with it being a weapon case and candles. Looks really well done. Yeah, that looks actually pretty good actually for it being a gun case. And then her in sort of a wedding dress outfit looks really nicely done. I do like the presentation of the overall figure. Very elegant. Paint job's not like out of this world, but like the shading on the white tights looks really well done. In fact, you can see the skin tones through there. Run just being sprayed white with some grey shading of grey going to grey is actually quite thoughtful. Just gives it a bit more life. The fact that you got the skin tone showing through Run, it just being white. There's no problems with this figure. It's a great looking figure. By Girls Frontline. If you're a fan of Girls Frontline and this is a character that character from that game that you like, then it's a great figure for you. Kakura illustration by D-Smile16 by SkyTube for 19,200 yen. So this is a bikini girl aesthetic, bikini maid, which is cast offable by SkyTube. Yeah, I probably would get her if I had a lot of maid figures, or I was doing a lot of ecchi kind of maid figures. This is another one to get out there for 19,200 yen. Not a bad price. I do like the purple tips on the hair. Looks like you get multiple face plates. The fact that she changed her faceplate over when she's cast off. Looks like a great figure overall. Definitely something worth getting hold of, and that matches the other one I think I covered in a previous video a few weeks ago, made by SkyTube, of another maid with the broom. So if you've got the previous one, then it might be worth getting this one as well, just to have them as a set, as you can see here. And the cast off is always generally a bonus depending on your outlook on the collection in anime figure collection. Sayuri illustration by K-Ping, 1/6 scale, gentleman, 20,900 yen. So I think these are sort of OC character girls.
But this looks pretty good overall. You know, bikini aesthetic. You know, well endowed girl figures of a blonde doing a cheesy thing, and is cast offable. And then there's her acquaintance, Yuna, illustration by Baya, for again for 22,000 yen. So it's purple hair, black outfit, bikini summertime aesthetic, really well endowed girl again as well. And there's cast off for 22,900 yen, and you can get them as a set, which will obviously have this much bigger base, you know, giving you this beach aesthetic, which sort of definitely ties them together a lot more for 46,980 yen. This one I'm probably not going to get hold of, but I will most likely keep an eye on it to see when they get released in December next year. Like if there's a bit of a discount or a bit more of a discount when they're released. I've got nothing, I don't think, in December next year, but there's a figure releases being released all the time, so I have to be a bit picky. I do like this, and I do like getting figures where there's sets like this, showing off a certain aesthetic, and then being cast off is just a big bonus for me. So I do like the appeal of these figures of Yuna and Sadayuri, but again, because it's not from an anime it's not from an anime series I've watched or anything, so it'll probably be something worth just keeping an eye on currently. A male character, Fate Grand Order Berserker Arjuna Alter, for 1/8 scale for 27,000 yen. Looks quite good actually. Male characters you don't see a lot that often, obviously. So I think depending on if you're a female collector or if you do like collecting male characters, the design on this, it looks really well done. The royal blue and the gold that they've got going on here is really well done. Like, it's really nice. Probably some of the best blues you're going to see out there, really. They're holding this sort of planet in his arm, and having these sorts of sci-fi and the bits. Very Fate Grand Order, obviously. Fate Grand Order, yeah, Fate Grand Order. Design going on. The support rods are fine. I don't think they take away from the figure that much, considering with all the gold going on there, they kind of tie in a bit. They're sort of hidden a bit as well overall. But yeah, they go in this cold steel shading, discoloration on the gold. Looks really well done. I think if you're looking for male characters, this is another great one out there. They always seem to do, when they comes to male characters, they generally always seem to be really well done. So definitely worth getting a hold of if you want to get, if you're big into Fate Grand Order or just are into collecting male characters. Kurigi Horse original character, Kurigi-chan 1/7. This, I love the design of this figure. You know, sort of a mage apprentice. Seems like horse human girl. Very good looking figure. I love the design on the dress. Looks great. The very big sleeves just show, very casual on the jacket. Makes her very cute. And I do love the skull tights, which Riser basically popularized. So the white and the brown tights, definitely a figure worth getting hold of. The paint job looks great, and on her staff it looks really well done as well. So again, 19, and it's by Solarian, small manufacturer, but 19,900 yen. I think is a steal really for that price. If this figure you've fallen in love with, then definitely worth getting a hold of. And Toho Project Familiar Scarlet Blood version 1/7 by Apex. Toho Project, a lot of people love getting anything Toho Project related. They've got a very verdant fan base for Toho Project. Don't know anything about Toho Project, but the designs do look great. Horror aesthetic looks amazing. The overall design looks amazing. I can see why people love it, because the design is just so captivating and definitely would attract you just massively. And the fact that the actual figures from the art that they've been able to release, previous Toho Project ones have been just knocked out of the park. So Apex know what they're doing. with this, and I do the shading on it just gives this weathered, horror aesthetic. Great looking figure. If you're massive into Toho projects, worth the 31,000 yen, no problem. And that's November 2024. That rounds up this week of figures from pre-orders from AnimePre. Please comment, subscribe. Again, check the links below. There'll be links for all of these that we've looked at today in the description below. And I shall catch you in next week's video. Thank you very much. Bye.